Hi guys, I'm going to start off this pen review with these Pilot Frixion highlighters. I got them at MPH for £3.50, which is around 70p in English currency. I went and grabbed all the pastel highlighters I could find on the shelf and ended up with these 6 cute colours. The Frixion highlighters are great in the fact that they're erasable, but they're also super liquidy, so I wouldn't recommend writing with them without waiting for your writing to dry out completely first, as it will probably smudge everywhere. The next pens I got are these Mildliners. I actually got these after I came back from Malaysia and Singapore, and I got 3 packs off of Amazon for around £11, which was a lot cheaper than I was originally going to buy them for in Singapore. Compared to the Frixion highlighters, they're definitely a lot less liquidy, and although they're not erasable, they're super comfortable to use. And I personally think that they have a good range of colours. It goes all the way from the really light pastel pack to the darker, more pigmented ones. The next two I got are these 2 MUJI Highlighters. They are double tipped, and the most amazing thing about them is that the broad tip is partially see-through, so you can see exactly where you're highlighting on the page and what you're highlighting. There are no more problems with highlighting the wrong thing or over-highlighting onto the next word. The thin tip on the other end is really so thin that it doesn't really show up on camera, but it is really great for underlining things or important titles. I did also go out and buy 2 Pilot calligraphy pens, and I'm not entirely sure of the make anymore, but I did find them at every bookstore from Popular to MPH. These are definitely one of my favourites as they write super smoothly, and because of the thin nib it's easy to use them in small bullet journals or notebooks. So I also bought a bunch of other calligraphy pens when I went on holiday. And I'm going to start off with this Artline STIX pen in grey. I actually only got one because they'd run out of all the other brush markers, but I could definitely recommend this one. It writes smoothly, it's comfy to hold, and the nib is big enough that you can vary size depending on how you want it. The next one is this pen I got from DAISO. I really wouldn't recommend this one because the nib is so thin that it feathers whenever you try to do calligraphy with it. This next one is a ZIG Brushable that is dual tipped, and it has two shades of pink. One is lighter than the other. This is also one of my favourites as it has a thick brush and definitely doesn't feather. This next pen is a pen by Pentel, and again the ink is super pigmented and the brush is really smooth, so I do really like this one. I also bought a couple of koi colouring brush pens in black and blue. I don't personally like these because when I write with them I find that they feather a lot. I'm not sure if I'm using them wrong, but I think that they really are better for colouring than calligraphy. This one is a Pentel FUDE brush pen with black ink and a super thin nib. So when I went to Malaysia, I also went to this massive MUJI store and I bought a load of MUJI pens, which are very similar to the SARASA gel pens that I'm going to show you later. And I would say there's no real difference between the two brands apart from the aesthetics. But here are the MUJI gel pens that I bought. They write so smoothly, and if you like having an acrylic barrel or something that looks see-through, this will really suit your needs. I personally felt that because they all have a rubber grip on the end, it definitely looks so nice, and it also feels good to write with. My hands never hurt when I write with these pens for a long while, and I would definitely recommend buying these. They're definitely worth the money. As I mentioned before, I got these Zebra SARASA pens. They are also gel pens which write really smoothly, just like the MUJI ones, and the real only difference is the colour of the grip and the colour of the plastic. They also come in sets which I think are cheaper to buy, but when I went to the bookstores they only sold them singly, so I bought them all at Popular. The colours are super pigmented, and I would say they're pretty much perfect for any kind of school project or homework you're trying to do. And again, they're very similar to the MUJI gel pens. I did also go and get these Stabilo Performer Plus pens in pink and blue. They're great for use on homework and school projects, and I only had them in black and red before, so I went and got some new ones. I bought some permanent markers from BIC, and the brown one actually dried out when I came back to England, but the blue one is quite nice. I would say, as always, the marker bleeds through the paper onto the other side, so I would only ever use them for posters or projects like that. The next thing I got at DAISO was this pencil holder, and I was clearly a bit confused about how to use it at first since the instructions were in Japanese, but I did figure it out in the end. I went ahead later on to put in my 9B pencil, which had gotten a bit too short, and I found it super comfortable to use and also very nice to look at. The rest of my haul consisted of these metal card rings, bookmark stickers, flower memo pads, and a jumbo yellow memo pad that I'm gonna use for just daily use and shopping lists. I managed to also get some word cards from DAISO. They have a little plastic ring on the end, and the paper is actually really good quality. It's blue gridded lines and it's all basically card paper. I got MUJI word cards as well, and in comparison they seem a lot more sturdy. They have metal rings and they have a little hard plastic cover on each of them. I'd say the only problem I have with these is that the paper quality isn't very good. It's quite flimsy, and compared to the DAISO ones, it's definitely not as sturdy in this sense. So I hope you guys liked my little stationery haul for you. Please like, comment or subscribe if you did, and I will be back with more videos soon.